Do I think video games should be $70? Was a question I just got. I think depending on the experience. I think depending on the quality and experience. Do I think AAA games that are not meant to be considered live service games with constant updates should be $60, $70? If the quality is there, yes. If you are actually giving us quality products at $70, yes, I do think a AAA game is a game from a developer that has tenure in the community and wants to make a game that is high enough quality and standard for almost anyone who is a fan of the genre to enjoy. That is my definition of a AAA game, right? Something along the lines of a Bethesda game. Baldur's Gate 3 is AAA. Yes, I think that even though it's from a smaller scale, is a game where you play a tow truck driver who goes around helping people, a AAA. Are you talking about, is it Tow Truck Simulator? It's a game that costs $100 million to produce AAA if they use their money right. Right, like a game like Cyberpunk 2077 was supposed to be a AAA game. Did it feel like one on launch? Unfortunately, no, right? They weren't giving us a quality product for that $60. We have live service elements in it, and the fact that there was like DLC after and a bunch of quality of life updates that I won't consider live service. I don't think of quality of life changes to a game and like patches inherently as live service. Is No Man's Sky AAA? It was supposed to be. It was hyped up as it was supposed to be one, and these games didn't deliver for their price point. So that's why I say yes and no, right? If your game is delivering on its promise to be a AAA game, to be a solid, functioning single-player experience with an amazing story, immersive world, character building, whatever your shtick, emergent gameplay, whatever the shtick was, whatever the selling point was supposed to be. I'm saying it was hyped up as if it was a AAA game. Same thing with Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is not a AAA game, but it was hyped up like it was supposed to be. That's what I said. I said it was hyped up like it was supposed to be. I believe, right? If I misspoke, then I misspoke, right? Anyways, those styles of games, if the experience is worth it, like if they make sure that the experience is well crafted, yes, I think that they should be $70. $60 has been the standard since like 2013, right? So it's already been like 10 years. Our industry has not seen a rise in cost when it comes to the games themselves, but it's seen a rise in cost when it comes to the production because of labor, because of shipping, because of just the programs themselves that they use to make these games, right? Like there are so many things that go into the production of that game. Sure, that game could, at $60, games have been $60 since like the SNES. No, they haven't. They were like 40. Are you okay? They used to be 40. Are you good? They used to be 40. AAA games on the PlayStation 2 were $40. PlayStation 3, they raised it to 50. Close to the end of PlayStation 3, they started trying to push $60. And ever since then, yes, they were. And ever since then, they've been $60. They've been $60 since at least roughly the launch of the PS4. But they weren't always. They weren't always. It's okay if you don't remember because maybe you didn't play a lot of video games or something, or you didn't buy a lot of video games. I'm not here to argue that because I also remember buying video games when I was younger. GameStops, Best Buys, Game Crazies, Blockbusters. Holy shit, I'm fucking old. I'm old. I bought games on launch of PS2. Yeah, they were $40. Yeah, they were $40. Anyways, and if they were $60 even back then, imagine that the industry hasn't changed its standard pricing for video games for even longer than 10 years. For something like 20 years. That seems asinine compared to everything else that has had a rise in cost. It's not like labor prices have just stayed the same for making video games. It's not like game developers are making the same amount of money they made then that they make now. They make significantly more now. There's also crunch and probably way more fucked up things in the industry that we don't need to get into. But when it comes to just the question of do I think single player, AAA, full featured video games should be $70 now or could justify a $70 price tag? Yes. Do I think games like Street Fighter 6 should have been $70? One, I think that the model that they're trying to do with this live service shit where they have like the battle passes in a paid game, I hate battle passes. I think battle passes are fucking stupid and scummy. Okay, I like Outrage, and whether it's going to be free to play or paid, I'm going to be mad as shit if there's a battle pass. If it's free to play, I can understand a battle pass. I can understand some sort of an item shop. It doesn't feel egregious because they have to find a way to not force, but hopefully incentivize people to support the game. I'll be supporting it for sure. Love that game. It seems sick so far. But if it's paid games with battle passes, item shops, and skins and things like that, like fighting games have been for a long time, feel unnecessarily scummy. They feel as if they're like trying to reach their hand further into your wallet after they've already given you you've already paid the initial $60. I think for the most part, the world we live in, competitive games like a Halo, a Fortnite, a Street Fighter, a Tekken, a Mortal Kombat, all of these styles of games could easily be free to play with monetization models that work with free-to-play games, right? We've already seen games that have phenomenal free-to-play models, even though you don't like them. Maybe you don't like your Fortnites, maybe you don't like your Apex Legends, but they make tons of money, and they're free-to-play, and people aren't going around complaining about the free-to-play models in a game. Most people, let me correct myself because my chat loves being the ones who do it. Most people aren't going around complaining about the monetization models of things like Fortnite and Apex Legends because they did it right, or at least to the vast majority of the community. Live service games should never be paid. I'm going to say that again. Live service games should never be paid. Street Fighter 6 has a battle pass. I have not interacted with it since like the second battle pass. I'm not buying any more battle passes for that game. Sure, after you buy the first one, you get enough points or whatever that you can buy another battle pass. I spent that shit on a character. I'm never buying another battle pass unless I see something inherently there I want that I will grind for. Otherwise, I'm not fucking with it. You've already gotten my $60. You're gonna get my money for the characters, unfortunately, because I need them for locals, for the setup. Fuck off. You're not getting any more of my money. You don't need it. I'm not giving it to you. A game like Mortal Kombat, it's $70, even on the Nintendo Switch, where it runs like garbage. That is a game that I don't think was worth the $70. I'm glad I didn't purchase it. Some people did, unfortunately for them. Whether that be on Steam, on the main consoles, Xbox and PlayStation, or the shitty-ass Nintendo Switch port. I'm not calling the Nintendo Switch shit. I'm calling the port shit. Okay? For reference, just in case anyone wants to bitch at me. Those games, that is a perfect example of a game that, one, could have just easily been free to play and they could have made the story paid. Story plus single player stuff like Invasions paid, right? Two, I know I'm doing 2 weird. Some people don't do 2 like this and then 3 like this. 2, the way that the game is designed on like a feature level doesn't feel feature rich enough to be something I would classify as a $70 game, right? Other than the story mode. I love your fight stick part reviews. Thanks, Matty Bear. I appreciate that. Yeah, another one's gonna go up on the channel here soon. I did an unboxing yesterday of this, the Victrix Pro FS. I haven't gotten to post it on the channel yet because I'm a lazy bitch, but we're gonna have a review for it at some point too. But the unboxing experience was amazing, even though I bought it used. It was great. I love this thing. I was trying to look for ads on games on launch and I only found the N64. I sent it to you in Discord. Yeah, let me take a look. Is it okay if I show this? It's okay if I show this, right? I don't know if you... Do you want me to, like, dox your... I mean, it's not really doxing, but it'll show your... Yeah, for sure. Okay, sweet. Thank you. Oh, I can do open in browser, and it should just pop up, and I can slide it over. This was sent to me by Wonderful Deluxe. I don't have to dox Wonderful Deluxe now. Isn't that so nice? Yay. Love that. I said his name anyway. You can dox me? I said your name anyway. All right, here we go. So some games were still $60. Look at that. Super Mario 64, Pilot Wing 64, Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Wow, look at that fucking price tag on Mortal Kombat Trilogy. They've been fucking us since the 90s. That's insane. But not all games are this expensive. I promise you some games were actually not $59.99. They were $49.99. And there was even AAA games on the PS2 that were $39.99. Like it wasn't uncommon. The standard was $60, but if it was lower, it was for lower budget games. Are you going to call Sonic 06 a lower budget game? Because it was $50. I mean, it didn't turn out great. But do you think Sonic 06 was a low budget game? Because it wasn't. And Sonic 06 on launch was $50. It wasn't $60. Yeah, I think also cartridges were expensive to produce, and Nintendo has been fucking us for years. Are really tough in Canada? Ouchies. Yeah, y'all's dollar is a little less strong than ours, right? Let me see if I can find the launch price of... Sonic Heroes launch price PS2. I think it was the $39.99. Can we find the launch price of this game? Is there not like a... That's fucked up. There's no like wiki page for launch prices of video. Oh, here it is. You can just use Wikipedia. I'm so stupid. And fight stick parts, good grief. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Plot, development. Can you show us the price? Bitch, I want to know the price. Sales. Show me the price. Well, unfortunately, it's not showing me the price. But I remember this game certainly being $40 on release. For certain, 100%. Because I saw it on the shelf and I said, oh, Mom, buy me Sonic. I love Sonic. Boy, was that a fucking mistake. I'm just kidding. Yeah, cartridges were a lot more expensive to produce than CDs were. So CD-ROMs were cheaper overall. I've never seen $40 games when I was a kid. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Are you younger than me, too? They were all 60 for me? Are you younger than me? I'm 28. So that might also have something to do with it. Either way, if that's the case, like imagine that our industry has been charging $60 for... You're 19? Yeah, you're significantly younger than me. If and I'm glad you didn't say like younger than like the legal age of being on Twitch. I'd have to fucking shoot your ass. I'd have to smite you. Anyways, that's very telling for an industry where the cost of production is rising, that they've been charging the same amount for the games. I don't really care because I don't buy a lot of video games if the price of video games goes up, because I only buy the experiences that I really want. I'm not out here trying to buy every $60 game or every $70 game. But I do think that we should make sure that we're not creating a new void. Final Fantasy 16 is going to be like $120. Is that real? Isn't GTA 6 going to be like some ridiculous amount of money as well? Like way over $70? I think that that's wild. I mean, like I said the same thing about movies, right? Like when you think of a movie, this is interactive entertainment. We have to think about video games as interactive entertainment. But it's a very beautiful game with lots to do, so I guess it's fine. I don't know. It just depends, right? It depends if that's the experience you want to pay for. What I was going to say is movies. Movies are very expensive to go to now. I remember as a kid, I would go to the movies, and not the dollar cinema, because we did have one of those here when I was a kid. Bless, thank God. The regular movies were like $4. It was like $4 or $5 to go to a movie theater. Tell me why now it's like closer to $18 for a movie ticket. That industry is a non-interactive entertainment industry. We are an interactive entertainment industry as video game players, right? That's what we want to do. We want to experience it with our own hands, with our own keyboards, with our own controllers, with our own VR headsets. Whatever it is. Yeah, $18 for a ticket is a lot. It's a ridiculous amount, especially when I just said how much it was when I was a kid, right? Like it was like $5, $6. I'd rather just buy the Blu-ray. Exactly, and you get more replayability. Now, you're paying $18 for a cinema experience, not including popcorn, drinks, snacks, anything like that, for 2 hours, maybe 3 hours if you're watching something like James Cameron's The Avatar, okay? Because that movie's fucking long. I don't know how long Way of the Water was, but I remember the original Avatar being close to 3 hours, or maybe a little over, for a Blue Dances with Wolves in Space. $60 or $70 for a video game that's gonna last you way longer than that and have infinite replayability because the disc literally doesn't just rip itself to shreds when you finish it at $60 or $70 feels worth it if it's the experience you're looking for and if it's a well-crafted premium experience. I don't think all video games need to be $70. I feel like I've repeated that enough in this. I don't think all video games need to be $70, but I do think that when it's a well-crafted quality experience, something like into like Spider-Man 2 that everyone seems to love and think is a really good game, or something like Remnant 2. I played Remnant 2. I had a friend buy it for me. Shout out to Creeper. Creeper's a real one. Thank you for buying me Remnant 2, because I never would have realized that I actually kind of do like fake-ish Souls games. Do I like real Souls games? Let's reel it back. I don't know, okay? But I like fake-ish Souls games. I'm a big fan of Remnant 2. I think Remnant 2 was a fucking quality experience. And if I had the money at the time and knew that I was going to like it, I totally would have put down the $60 for it. If it was $10 more and it was $70, if I'm paying $20 for a movie ticket, I'm getting in a theater with reclinable seats and able to lift up. I think the cinemas that I go to, yes, they do have reclinable seats. I think they do, yes. Now, like I said, that experience is not set in stone. Not every game is going to be that way. So I think it should be well crafted. There needs to be a way for games to qualify at certain prices. Yeah, like at launch, the Starfield feels like it's worth $70 for anyone who's bought Starfield. Any of you guys played Starfield? Does it feel like it's worth $70? Does Does Mortal Kombat 11, I mean Mortal Kombat 1, anyone that has that, do you guys feel like you paid $70 and you got what you paid for? And I don't know. Fuck. You mean no to both of those? And that's what I mean. Is those games didn't pass up quality assurance. We have like rampant. I hate Mortal Kombat. Subflow maybe feels like $50. Yeah, something like that, right? Tekken for Life. Love that for you. Love that for you. I'm a big fan of 3D fighters myself. I like Soul Calibur and Tekken more than most 2D fighters, to be fair. Right, something like Soul Calibur 6. I paid $60 for it. Do I think that it was a $60 experience? No, I don't think it was worth $60 at all. Did I get infinite replayability out of the online play? Yes. So like, I gotta hold that, right? I can boot up Soul Calibur right now and play it at $60 because, I mean, if I can find someone to play, because it has infinite replayability. It has online servers that are still up, so I can still play it. So in that $60, I got maybe featureless stuff, a lot of feature lacking content, but I got a working online model that will work basically forever until I shut off the servers. I haven't even finished Starfield yet. Like, it has a ton of content, but the burnout came extremely fast compared to games like Fallout 4 and Skyrim because it doesn't feel as well crafted, right? It feels like maybe there's too many fetch quests or there's too much empty exploration where the worlds don't feel as alive as you want them to be. Things like that. Those are things that, if the game is crafted right, those don't happen, right? I heard a lot of good things about this current version of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, unfortunately, we waited like 2-3 years for Cyberpunk 2077 to deliver on that promise, to be that amazing, well-crafted experience that we expected it to be on launch, right? As people who maybe were early adopters of a shit game, a kusoge, as it were. But it is that way now, right? It's shitty that people had to wait for it, and maybe they could have just delayed the game so that they wouldn't have had to deal with that. Right? You don't like go and watch a movie and say, boo, this movie should have costed less to watch. You go, boo, this movie stinked, I'm not going to recommend it to anyone. Right? Like Mortal Kombat Annihilation was like apparently dog shit. I think it's a funny experience. I rewatched Mortal Kombat Annihilation briefly after watching the new Mortal Kombat movie. I rewatched 1 and 2. And I was like, damn, I saw this shit in theaters? This shit's a joke, right? And I laugh about it. But that's a perfect example of something that like probably should have never hit the cinema. Should have never been out. But it was, because there's no like committee of people that say, this shit right here, these guys were spitting. Or this shit right here, this shit sucked. OG Mortal Kombat movies were great. If I see one more mid-air flip in Mortal Kombat Annihilation that literally looks like the jumps out of the old Mortal Kombat games, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I rewatched the movies and I was like, this movie's bad. But it's not as bad as Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li. So that's something to look at. I think that all live service games, something like the way Halo Infinite did it, how Halo Infinite, you pay for the campaign, but the online component of the game is free. I think that is the perfect model, and I really hope that more games start to kind of work their way into that, right? Games that have a dedicated casual audience that want to experience the story mode will go and buy that. But then the people who don't give a shit about that won't spend their money supporting that area of the game, and then also be kind of thrown a battle pass thrown in their face, right? The thing is, with Street Fighter, like I said, I paid the $60 for the game, so I've already supported the game, I buy the characters, and then I'm still having a battle pass thrown in my face, and really expensive costumes thrown in my face, because they're really expensive, let's be honest. But if the game was free to play, and you got access to the World Tour mode, the story and survival mode, time attack, whatever, extreme battle, all the offline things, other than maybe regular basic offline versus, if you got access to all those things, offline versus training, there we go. Whew. If you got access to all those things for free, right? The battle hub, the online ranked and casual training and versus for free, the game would feel as if it's complete, two separate complete packages that you could monetize separately without pissing people off. And I think that there's a world where maybe developers start to see that that model will work, because Halo's campaign sales were great as far as I remember, but the game's not doing super hot online, but the servers are still up and people are still spending money on the game because that's the version of Halo that they want to support. They want to play the multiplayer. They want to buy the cool skins. They want to buy the battle passes. right? You can be monetizing two separate, completely different audiences without removing the option for someone to choose one or the other. Options is good. Options is good. Options is good. It should be. You should have a choice. I hope that thoroughly answered the question of if I think video games should be $70 or what kinds of video games I would think could be and should be, if well crafted, $70. I'm not even gonna do YouTube outro for this one, because this was like a random fucking tangent, because Twitch chat likes to ask me questions that they know I'll fucking bite on. God damn it.